Okay. So, reconvening at 9:15, and Connie's here. Is Connie here?
I am.
Connie's here.
Glad to be here.
Dan's here. Appreciate you guys coming on board. And I just thought it was high time we started getting together for little sessions and maybe creating a bit of a library of things that just help us do our business easier. So I kind of made a presentation for tonight, but boy, I'd certainly be open to suggestions from you two or anybody else who listens to the recording about what they'd like to hear down the road that would be helpful. Of course, the advantage of doing it live is always that you get to interrupt me and ask questions and stuff like that.
There's always lots of questions.
So I thought that what might be nice to do tonight is to kind of the theme is resources. Because for sure when you get into a business like this, you need to have some resources and figure out how you're doing what you're doing. And if you look at what's on the screen right now, that's the homepage for my personal website. And I'm going to this tab here that says Services, and down at the bottom it says Nutrition for Brain and Immune System, and then Immunotech Resources. And if we're really lucky, there it is. Woohoo! The screen comes up. So this is something that you can always find in my website. Not to mention the fact, this line here on the top that says for a downloadable PDF version of this list, you click here, and it'll come up in your computer when you do this down the road, and it's just a 2-page sheet.
Yep.
And so you can just save it into your own computer and work with it that way.
Cool.
So, but it's got color on this version, so I'll take it from here. And, I think one of the reasons that resources is such an important thing is that when you get into a business like networking, on the one side, it's simple and straightforward. What do you have to do? I mean, kind of in a nutshell, you want to find 4 people to be your business partners and help them find their 4 people to be their business partners and on down the line so that you have that beautiful geometric progression in your business. So that's simple and easy enough. But then the question would come up, well, now what, and how do I do that? And the truth is, the how, it relies a lot on who you are and how you like to approach people, how you want to do your business. This business has been done so many different ways. I personally think the only kind of required rule of thumb is that you want to be building in a way that's simple enough that somebody that you're interested in the business can look at what you're doing and saying, well, what he's doing is really simple. I could do that. I know the first few years I was in the business, I loved to give these long lectures on how great the product was and glutathione and da. Well, nobody else could do that because they didn't study the way I did, and they weren't used to lecturing, and they say, well, this is hard to do. And it took me a long time to get it that just wasn't a good way to do it. So that's why we've got recordings now, because anybody can push play on a recording.
The good old KISS method.
Exactly. Exactly. So, like, I know, Connie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the things that you especially like to do in your own business is you enjoy having house parties once every month or so and invite a few people in and do a presentation, and then you give them some samples and stuff like that. You're great at that. You have little door prizes and things and make a little party out of it.
I like to have fun.
Connie's kind of a party animal.
If I can put a party on it, then we're good to go.
Exactly. I don't know, Dan, do you think you have a style for yourself yet?
Maybe I'm still looking for my style, I think.
Okay.
I just got into it in November, so...
Yeah.
I think you're going to be good one-on-one, Dan.
Well, that might be too. Might be too. Hog tie them and say, no, listen here.
Yeah, the courteous approach. Yeah. there are people now who are finding prospects on Craigslist and Kijiji, and sometimes people have a whole kind of approach that they like to go through social media, social networking, and there are whole courses you can take on how to find people on Facebook and LinkedIn and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different, the how is not quite as cut and dried as the what in terms of what we have to do. And just to mention as a what, I think if we comfortably can, we'll limit our session to half an hour tonight. I don't think we need to go longer than that. I don't want to get anybody bored or stay on here too long. So what I put on this resource list were a bunch of different things, so that kind of depending on how you want to pursue your business, there should be some tools that'll help you do it, because that's the main thing, especially when we're new. We want to rely on people to help us figure out what our style is going to be and how we should approach it. So the first thing on a resource list is just who's live people to help you. You want to contact your sponsor and chat with them. Immunitech customer service is available, and I put the hours down there, and I put myself on this list, and I put these email addresses a little funny because I think sometimes there are programs that troll websites and then they spam email addresses like crazy. So this one actually says lindaclark@acncanada.net. I just didn't write it the way you usually write an email address, so it wouldn't get grabbed by one of those trolls.
Good idea.
Yeah. Wally Kralik, he's, I don't know, 7-8 levels above me in the business. Been in the business for, 15 years maybe? 15, 16? No, 16? I don't know. Many years. Extremely successful businessman, great business head. And any issues, or if you're talking to any friends who really have kind of a business bent, Wally could be a great person to do a 3-way call with, because he can definitely talk from the businessman's perspective. Sue Fitzpatrick is in our upline. She's also got quite a bit of experience with the company, and she's been in retail and business herself and has some good words to say. Gabrielle Lacroix over in Montreal is a massage therapist, so she can speak from that end of things. And all of these people have been in the company for some time and have some good experience. So that would be the first thing, is just go to those people and say, have a chat and figure out what you want to look at. I can see I wrote Wally's phone number incorrectly, and I have a correction to make. Okay, it's actually 705 area code. Then going down the list, in terms of information that you might want to share with somebody on the product, and again, emphasizing that thing that when at all possible, give somebody a brochure, a video to watch, something that anybody could do. If you'd been in the business for 5 minutes, it's easy to ask your friend to go look at a video. And then your friend knows it's easy, and it's easy. So there's this one video on the little website Health is Yours with Dr. Hyman that very, very good, especially on glutathione. And then Tazreen Alibi, a naturopath, also speaks on that website. Very good, general, fairly short. He's 6 minutes, she's 3. It's under 10 minutes. Good introduction, simple. Make Health Happen has the same video as Dr. Hyman, but has several tabs with a lot more in-depth information on Immunical. And what you might want to do eventually is print these sheets out, go to these different resources, and then make notes on your sheet, so you remember a couple months from now which website had which information when you want to recommend something. And then the energy888.info, that's the PowerPoint that I and Connie put together last fall, and that's you can see a recording that I did of it at this website. And people on my team, that PowerPoint is available to use themselves if they want to talk through with their people that they're meeting with. Any questions on any of those so far, fellas?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, they're good.
All right. And these 4 articles, these are things that when somebody decides they're going to use Immunical, when I have a new customer or a new business partner, and they're going to start using Immunical, I always send them these 4 things. A sheet about how to use Immunical, a sheet about detoxification, the sheet comparing Immunical and Platinum, and the personal health survey so they can keep track of their progress. So those are 4 things that I always send out. And I think I tried to be careful, and these versions of these sheets don't have my personal information on them now, so they'll just be neutral, and it won't all be going back to me. Additional materials, which I often send to people, the CPS article, we talked about that, and the PDR, those are the things that the medical doctors really need to see. And Connie, do you want to talk a little bit about how you might use those if a person says, "Oh, I need to show this to my doctor"?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's very important when you talk to your doctor and mention that in the CPS or take the sheet with you, that you either suggest that you've already decided to take it and would ask them if they would just monitor you on it, or ask specifically whether there's any reason you can't take it. And the contraindications on the CPS, as Linda mentioned, if you were listening to the product call, said that it would only be in the case of a transplant or if you had to watch how much protein intake you took. Mm-hmm. So if you just go in and ask them how well it works or what they think about it, they won't really know anything about Immunical and they won't recommend it to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Makes sense to me. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty important. And it's just these little fine points that is good to be aware of. This is an article on quite a bit of good information on Immunical and glutathione for athletes, this Petrosino article, and the same document has a longer article on that Larry Land study on the athletes, the cyclists, and their 13% improvement in their performance. So that's there. Dr. Gutman put together a little glutathione booklet, and although the cover's not on this booklet, the whole booklet is right there. And you know, one of the things I would suggest about this, actually, let's just tell it to show up. I'm feeling so smug that I can do this with these websites and things. So you open up this thing, and you could just tell somebody, who do you know who has any of these issues? There's a list right here of things that are related to glutathione. And since we're guaranteed to raise glutathione, you can say that we can address aging, antioxidant, neurological, cancer, athletic, hepatitis. Those are things that Immunical can be effective with. And you also further down in this little booklet, here's another page, raising glutathione levels, some possible clinical applications. And those are things, you look down and you go, holy smokes. No wonder they say this is a big deal, because it's a whole page. And these are just bullet points, So that's one of the things. And then the selected medical references also are things that, depending who you talk to, sometimes they really need this level of credibility to make them comfortable with the whole idea, or just to get them to sit up and take notice,
Yeah, I love that little booklet.
Isn't it good? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wish they had they stopped printing the cancer one, but
right.
I think Linda and I are going to work on fixing up one that we can hand out just like that one.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Yeah. And then this is not a recent book, but this is pages and pages and pages of testimonials testimonial training booklet. Some of them are, 10 years old now, but, who cares if somebody got over.
Testimonial's a testimonial.
A testimonial is a testimonial, exactly. So a lot of good stories in there that you could, I don't know, bedtime reading for many months. A couple of super books that you can order off the company website. Dr. Gutman's book on glutathione. And as I said here, 4 chapters on glutathione and then 1 chapter each on glutathione as it relates to a whole variety of different health concerns. So that can be a really good reference. And sometimes you just want to show somebody, the chapter that relates to their specific health concern. And then there's the business side. Are there any product kind of related things that you guys can think of that ought to be added to this list?
No, I can't say right now for sure.
Okay. As soon as you put something like this out, then you start noticing what you missed. Anyway, in terms of the Immunotech business, there's another website online that I put this recording up last fall that's an overview of our business, an overview of what network marketing is, some of the concepts there, because I find a lot of people really don't have a clue what network marketing really is, and that's important information. Excuse me. And so the website gives a pretty good little introduction to networking, and then also follows it up with specifics about the Immunotech business. And that is a PowerPoint. Again, my teammates have access to that PowerPoint if you want it. Discover Your Wealth, you might want to have a look at that site. It's just about done. Wally Kralik has been putting that together with some of his colleagues. 4-step website that could be a good kind of general overview of product and business for the company. And then, of course, Immunotech.com, the company website, which I think at some point would merit its own evening session. We just take a little tour through that website and things you might want to know, and a little bit of help finding some things, because holy smokes, it's like a maze back there.
It is a challenge. Then they just find it and they change it.
Yeah.
But it is.
But there's a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot there. I mean, if nothing else, click on the tab in your back office that says Tools and spend some good long time really drilling down there, because it's amazing what you can find there. And then generic stuff about network marketing. See, I think one of the, as a person, when you want to build a business like this, there's like several things that you really need to be confident with and to feel good about. You need to feel good about network marketing as a business model, especially since a lot of people are going to be saying, oh, isn't that one of those pyramid deals, And you need to know how to handle that. In fact, that's worth a whole nother little evening seminar where we can discuss ways to talk with people about that kind of comeback from somebody. But for starters, you need to know really well in your brain and right down into your bones why network marketing is a very respectful, very valuable way to do business. Because if that's your reality, it just makes it much easier to talk to somebody else about it for starters. You're not talking out of nervousness or because you don't know. You talk from confidence. So I think it's important to know about the business model, just like it's important to know about the product and feel really good about what you're offering somebody. So a bunch of different sites, and these are things that I look at or I use from time to time, sometimes different ones for different people. And again, print the list out, look at each one of these, make some notes, and think why or when you might use any of these. These first two, the Lynda.IOwnMyLife, and Linda.CEO of Fun. Those are websites that I subscribe to. If you send somebody there, you might want to shoot me a quick email just to say, because people can fill out a whole survey on why they're interested in the business on that website. If I get a notice that somebody filled out the survey, it's good to know where they came from. And then I can make sure that I connect you back with that survey and that kind of thing. So I Own My Life, a really good little thumbnail introduction to network marketing. And CEO of Fun, Nancy Falo was a vice president of a company. She worked for years to get up to that VP status. And in this, she's talking about why networking is just a better way to live. And lovely, down-to-earth discussion of that. BlissBusiness.com. Richard Brooke is one of my total favorites in the network marketing arena. He's a extremely successful network marketer himself and a wonderful educator about the field of network marketing. So I highly, I see another typo. Don't download this thing until I fix the typo. I saw that before and took it out, and it's there again. Anyway,
autocorrect.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful educator, and a great. He's a character. He's just fun to listen to. And this little phrase here in his website, excellent free audio and video resources. That sentence, it deserves to be highlighted. There is so much beautiful stuff on his site, including in the videos. He was a featured speaker at the Immunotech convention a couple years ago, and that speech is there in his free videos.
Yeah,
and you might enjoy.
Speeches.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
His books are the best.
The books are wonderful. Yeah. And I know, Connie, you've been recommending Mach 2 with your hair on fire.
Yeah, and everybody that'll listen.
Yeah.
I'm still reading that.
Yeah.
It's a matter of finding that time.
Yeah. How do you like it so far, Dan?
So far, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Good.
Just like looking at myself in the mirror.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
I said most of us, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a real soul-searching thing, but it's exciting material.
Danny, one of the best emails he sent me was that after he'd started reading some of the books we were recommending, he said, "Why didn't they teach us this in school?"
Yeah, really.
I don't remember that in business class, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of interesting. Oh, well. Our favorite phrase, network marketing, a personal growth program with a compensation plan.
Yeah.
Networkmarketingpro.com, Eric Worre's website. He's also got he's got a nice pretty much daily little, short little bits of advice and information. The movie Rise of the Entrepreneur is very, very good. His little book, Go Pro, is an excellent kind of practical, stepwise approach to what you have to do to build your networking business. Kind of do's and don'ts about getting your head around it, and then also practical activity. Very, very nice little book. I subscribe to Big Al's daily email. Well, they're not daily emails. It's probably a couple times a week. He's a character. He has some nifty little ideas and things to say. I like his spirit a lot and his information. Randy Gage, I've been getting some of his e-news things, newsletters lately. He does some very, very nice little thoughtful videos. Very, very good. And he's a guy with a huge spirit. Very interesting man. And then Tim Sales, master longtime educator for network marketers. Excellent. When I first got some of his CDs, I must say I listened to them for months and just kind of let them slowly sink into my head. So I think that's the list here. And the one thing that is not on this list, but is a huge resource, is the convention, which is coming up in February. Everything from an opportunity to just talk face-to-face with other people in the business and see what they're doing and how they're doing it, and and learning the new stuff firsthand of what will be coming up in our coming year with the company. Connie, are you planning to go?
Oh, I can't wait. And I hear my business will increase by 20% after I've been there.
It's a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sure
I mean, we can't not go. It's in Toronto. We could almost walk there.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
Mhm.
Dan's going to come with us too.
Super. So, good information and a time to party, which will also be just a good thing to do. So, I'm just curious. I'm going to put you a tiny bit on the spot and just say, are there other topics that you think would be good for us to cover on little training calls like this?
Well, Dan was mentioning actually earlier, one of the things he'd like to know about is we always say that this is good to help with your income tax as a home business. So I think he'd like to know a few more facts maybe about that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Seeing that I've never truly run my own business before.
Okay.
I sort of had my own donut business at a time, but it was under my parents' restaurant umbrella.
Right.
So I didn't have to worry about all the financing and it. I just had to make donuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can make a huge proportion of your life a tax deduction with this kind of a business.
That would be nice.
Mhm.
And improve your health at the same time.
Yeah, especially when you look at the heating bills for this place.
Yeah, well, that'll take a little homework because we don't want to screw anybody up with that. But
no.
But sure, I think that's a good idea. Anything? I know we should do a session on objections because that's a good one to have some ideas about.
Yeah.
I'll have to warm the pen up when I hang the phone out and try to write all this stuff down. I should be thinking of right now.
So be sure to email me if you as ideas cross your mind of things that would be helpful to go through. Oh, another one I would like to do sometime is just basics on the compensation plan.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I get thinking about that a couple of times too. And I need to go over that a bit more too, just to get it more solid in my head. And stuff like that.
And I'm thinking, even if these aren't polished recordings, they could still be handy. If you sign somebody up next week and you want to take them through the basics, you could just say, "Listen, we've got these recordings. They'll get you started with a lot of it." I know a couple weeks ago I started a fella and gave him a tour of things he should know about just setting up his own back office website, and it took at least a half an hour to do it. And we got done, and he said, "Oh my God, am I going to have to know how to do this with another person if I sign somebody up?" And I found myself saying, "Oh no, don't worry about it. I'll do it for you." And then after I was done with that conversation, I said, "That's not a good plan."
No. What did I say?
It wouldn't even hurt to set up a customer or a distributor on Join Me, and then you can see the steps. Like I did that with Danny. The first time he did an order. Yeah. Because it can get a little confusing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd like to do a few of those with the screen sharing, so you can just point to where people should do things. And if they do it with the recording, they can always say, "Okay, here's what you have to do. Go here. Now put me on pause and go there." And then start me up again, and it could just be like doing a workbook. So yeah, so I think we have ammunition for a bunch of sessions here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Lots of homework.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, hold on for a second. I think I'm going to thank you for joining the party tonight, and I'll stop the recording for now.
Well, thank you for being such a lovely host.
Aw, shucks.